Intense, cinematic music swells and fades to a low hum. Let's start with a brutal truth. That compulsive need you have to be right, to win every single argument, it isn't about intelligence. It's a primal fear. You see, when you identify with a belief and that belief gets challenged, your ego perceives it as a threat to its very existence. To the ego, being wrong is a form of annihilation. Welcome to Unspoken Rules. This is the place where we decode the psychological truths that operate just beneath the surface of reality. These are the real mechanisms of power, the ones they never taught you in school. We're going to start with the first hidden force that commands your life, the ego. And no, this isn't about your personality. Think of it more like a hidden operating system, a ghost in your machine. So what is it? The ego is a false self, a phantom, created by your unconscious identification with that constant stream of thought in your head. You have to understand this. The ego is not you. It's a script. It's an addiction to thinking that runs your life from the shadows. The ego's entire existence is built on this phantom identity, so it lives in a constant state of threat. Every fear you feel, fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of being hurt, is at its core the ego's fear of its own end. This is why it gets so defensive. It's why it needs to attack. It's why it absolutely cannot afford to be wrong. Its very survival depends on it. And this is exactly how your inner state translates to social power. Look at the left column. That's the ego's playbook, reactive, defensive, always seeking power over other people. This is classic low-status behavior. Now look at the right. This is the conscious individual, responsive, stable, embodying a true power that just comes from within. They're completely detached from being wrong because their sense of self isn't on the line. That's high-status reality. But the ego, well, it has an accomplice. The second hidden force running your life is something called the pain body, and you can think of it as an active saboteur living right inside you. Every single emotional pain you've ever experienced that you didn't fully face and accept, it leaves behind a residue. Over time, this residue merges with other past pain, and it becomes this semi-autonomous energy field inside your mind and body. For all practical purposes, it is an invisible entity that just lies dormant, waiting to be triggered. So here's the crucial thing. This whole process is mechanical. First, the entity is dormant, then a trigger. It could be an innocent remark, a specific situation, resonates with some old pain. And just like that, it activates and takes you over. You literally become it. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, they're no longer yours. They belong to the pain body. And its only goal? To feed, to create more drama and conflict so it can generate the negative energy it survives on. This right here explains so much about self-sabotage. You see, the pain body cannot feed on joy. It actually finds it indigestible. It needs suffering to survive. So once it takes you over, you will unconsciously seek out or create situations that inflict more pain on yourself and on others. It's a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle. So where do these two entities, the ego and the pain body, actually live and operate? Well, they exist in a prison created by the mind, a prison we call psychological time. And this is the key. The ego simply cannot function and remain in control without time. It sees the timeless present moment, the now, as a direct threat to its existence. So what does it do? It keeps you trapped. It keeps you trapped either by obsessing over the past to find your identity or by projecting into the future for your salvation and fulfillment. Just look at this timeline. All negativity is caused by an accumulation of psychological time. Things like guilt, regret, resentment, bitterness, that's all caused by too much past. And anxiety, tension, stress, worry, that's all from too much future. The most crucial point here is that your life only ever happens in one place, the now. The past and future are just mental illusions, and the now is the only point of true power you will ever have. So how do you escape this prison? How do you dissolve these inner entities? You do it by cultivating the antidote. It's called presence. And make no mistake, it is not a passive state. It is the ultimate form of power. Presence is the act of stepping back and just observing your mind. You become aware of your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, but you do it without judging them and without believing they are you. You become the silent watcher behind all the content of your mind. And the moment you start watching the thinker, a higher level of consciousness becomes activated. This is the practice. You simply watch. The moment you observe the ego or the pain body without getting tangled up in it, the identification is broken. That unconscious pattern which needs your identification to survive, it just starts to dissolve in the light of your own consciousness. You are no longer energizing it. And here is the great reversal. You see, the ego believes strength lies in resistance, in control, in having power over others. But that's just weakness and fear masquerading as strength. True, unshakable power is within. It is the stillness and intense alertness of presence, and it is only available to you right now. This is how presence translates to real-world authority. Loud dominance, that's the ego's game. It's a performance. But quiet command, that's the result of presence. It's the parent who can quiet a room without ever raising their voice. It's the leader who projects total stability in a crisis. This is true authority. It is felt, not announced. All of this brings you to a point of no return, a crossroads, because once you understand these hidden programs, you can no longer pretend they don't exist. You now see the scripts of the ego and the pain body. You see the prison of psychological time. You've been shown the mechanisms that have been running your life unconsciously. So the question is no longer if these forces exist. The real question is, will you continue to be the puppet or will you choose to become the watcher? You can't unsee this. The patterns will now become obvious to you. The choice is yours. Are you going to remain a bundle of conditioned reflexes? Or are you going to subscribe and join the few who are committed to seeing reality as it truly is? Join the few who choose awareness. Subscribe, like this video, and comment below what is one unconscious pattern you now see in yourself. Turn on all notifications, because awakening is a discipline.